How many of you heard about financial planning? I cannot see the crowd, okay, because the light is too bright. How many of you heard? Okay, there is quite a number of hands going up. But today's topic from me is on financial planning. I could see roughly around 10% of hands going up. That means the rest, 90% doesn't know about financial planning. Financial planning is a subject which is least talked about and least understood. And that is the topic for today. And I want your attention so that I can cover certain topics in a pretty short time. So today's session is divided into two portions. One portion where I'll ask some questions and we will think and we'll probe and we'll see what is the problem we have at hand. And the second half of the session is about a solution, or the solution what we can deploy to get over that problem. So let's start off. So roughly 20 years back, I was in the situation here. What's after college? What's after college for all of you? Just think in your mind. Some of you are going for further education, but after that again what? Most of us are going to go for work, including me. When I left college, I was thinking about work. But there are other options also. Some people want to do their own business. Some people wanted, like my friend, wanted to go back to his hometown and do agriculture and support his father and mother and his parents or brothers. So everyone has got their own stuff to do. Some people do social work, like my friend here. His passion is that, not interested on anything other than social work. But majority of my colleagues were interested, or batchmates were interested in work. How many of you are here going for work after their studies? I'm not here seeing hands. Make it up, go up. Really, people who are going for work. I can't see. Okay, how many of you are going for business? I saw only 40% hands going up for work. So business is around 10%. How many of you are going to do social work? Okay, roughly another 10%. So I can fairly assume is 80% of you going for work, because I think some people didn't want to raise their hands. Can I assume yes or no? I'm not hearing it loud enough. Or at least raise your hands. At least I know that 90% of here are people going for work. If they're going for studies, they're going to do work again. Why do I know that? Because at your homes, everyone is telling you about work only. They're asking you to study hard. Don't they say to study hard? Don't your parents say to study hard? Don't your brothers or sisters say to study hard? At least in my house, the constant message for me for my 15 years or 20 years of education was study hard and get a good job. How many of you fall in that category? Roughly 50%. That means 50% of the rest of the folks have no pressure on studies. Is that what you're saying? Oh, you're all lucky people. Or is it because of the lunch you're not ready to raise your hands? Okay, but I'm fairly assuming that 70+% of the people here are going for work, because I saw 10% on business and 10% on social work. So why do people go for work? Why do people go for work? Your primary area is to go for, your primary aim is to go for work, because people have been continuously telling you, your relations, everyone, study and go to work. But why do you think you're going for work? Agree it is money, but that's not the primary reason. These are the primary reasons. When I ask people who join my company, when I ask people, why did they join for work? I want stability in my life. That is what it is. I joined work because I wanted to be independent. I don't want to be dependent on my parents. I want to be independent, free. How many of you want to be free? Oh, this has gone up really well, okay. I think almost 100% or 90% is on free. So, I've written the last bullet point, it's implied. It's implied is what I meant to say. As soon as you start studying, I can remember maybe I was 4 years or 5 years old, it's always related to studying. And the pressure is so high to become first in the class. And the pressure is so high to get a good job. So it's already implied. I'm not even thinking about anything other than work. But if you look at the underlying factor, what is freedom? What is stability? If I give you millions of dollars or crores of rupees, will it give you freedom? It will give you independence. What are you looking for? Independence means money. But what else do you think? What does stability mean? What does career mean? You want career growth. What is that? What is that career growth? What is predictability? What is stability? If you have millions of dollars, I don't think you'll be looking for a career. You will go do music. It was so enthralled by what Anish said. If you had money, you would give all the domestic workers all the money. So it's all money related is what I feel. So all of us are working for money. Let me see about when you're 10 years into work. So I take these sessions in my office. So people have crossed like a few years of work experience. When I ask them, what's their state? These are the things they say. This is what's going on in their mind. Job insecurity, they're afraid that their company will lay them off. They're afraid of retirement. What will happen when I retire? Who will take care of my people? There is mounting loans because you're 10 years into your work career, you would have already got an automobile loan, bike or car loan, you would have at least have a home loan. It's eating away your income, what you're getting. And they're mounting expenses because everything goes up. The hotel food goes up, the rents go up. There's mounting pressure on you. If you look at the underlying factor, if I put the same statement, if I give you millions of dollars or crores of rupees, I will not be worried about time. Will I be worried about job security? Will I be worried will I get laid off? No, I will not be. The core reason again is money. I forgot about the last bullet point. This last bullet point sometimes is to worry me. If I die, I will take care of my family. What will happen? Who will take care of their expenses? Who will take care of their education? Who will take care of their health? So the underlying factor is money. So when someone started, someone said money. But with this couple of slides, we can fairly conclude that money is an important factor for us. Important factor for our families. If it's all about money, which is very important for us, are we really equipped to manage money? You studied for 18 plus years, all of you. Was there one single hour, any of your lecturers or any of your class, did they talk about money? How do you manage money? But after you leave college and after you move forward in life, managing money becomes the most important thing. But we have never been educated. Did your parents tell about anything about money? How do you manage money? I don't think so. My parents didn't tell me. My parents told, don't worry about money, you study. My mom used to say, don't worry about anything, I'll get food to your table. You have to sit there and study. This is how it happens in families. But I was never told about how you need to manage money. So, are you really equipped to manage money? The answer is no. Then what is likely to happen? Which happened to me 10 years into work life. Which I feel could be happening to you guys, you people. And some people are not from college, they will be able to easily accept what I'm saying. What is likely to happen? I put it in two pictures, so let's show the first picture. First picture is of a mouse or a rat. You cannot see it clearly in a cage, in a round cage. Here the mouse, when the mouse runs, the cage rotates. So if the mouse runs faster also, the mouse stays in the same place. But the cage keeps rotating. So that's how my life was. Because when the mounting expenses were there, I used to work harder. Because I didn't want to lose my job. I don't want to be a person who's found that not working in the office. So get early in the morning, go late in the evening. Not doing the job should be not the reason for me to be losing my job. Do my work harder and harder. Then have conversations with your manager. I want more money. I want a promotion. I want money. So I keep asking that. If I'm not getting it, shift jobs so that I get more money. But again, the scene repeats the same. The new company is the same. So this is what is likely to happen to all of you. In other words, it's going to be a rat race for all of you people if you don't manage your money properly. So I put another picture here. This is a picture about a ship in a cyclonic environment or whatever, and it's anchored itself down to be safe. But convert that picture into something else. The ship is your life, and you set it on a journey.
It's taking you to the dream. But something is holding you down. It's anchored you down. You cannot move. Because you have not managed your finances properly. I want to do music, but I'm not able to spend time in music because I'm worried I'll lose my job. So I spend my whole time there in office. My passion is something else, but I'm unable to do that. I don't want to be caught playing games in office because they'll throw me out. But my passion is playing games. Since I have not planned my money well, I am stuck. I've used get leashed here because unleash is your thing, right? So you can get stuck in your life because you've not managed your money properly. So, what are the key takeaways now? This is the first part of the session, the problem what you're facing right now. Majority of you will take jobs, and we are working for money, and we are not geared up for managing money. And we'll end up in a rat race. So this is the problem what we have at hand. And what do we do? Now the second question of the journey. So 10 years into my work life, I happen to see these two quotes. Don't work for money. Make money work for you. Don't be slave of money. Make money your slave. It was by an author called Robert Kiyosaki. This actually changed my mind. I feel this quote should change your minds. The first step, basic step is, I want you to change your mindset. Because what has been coached or taught throughout your life has been to work hard. Your 18 years of studies is helping you to do your work better, but not to manage your money better. All your teachers, all your parents relations, the system itself is orchestrating you to work better. Work very efficiently and get better jobs in life, but not to manage money. Now this picture is what I like, because this picture has the top portion where a person is making the dollar work. The second half of the picture shows the dollar making the person work. So it is in relation to the wordings there, or the quotes there. So what you have to see there is, the man is making the dollar work, but the dollar is very happy. Dollar is non-living, money is non-living. You can make it 24/7 work. You can hit it, you can do whatever you want with it. It will never get tired. It's non-living. And we are not even making any use of that. We have been not taught to manage money, how to make use of money. But on the other side, you see how the man is sweating, tired. Just in your mind, just reverse the status. We need to figure out how to make full use of money. And how do we employ money and make money work for us? That is the mindset change we need. That's the first thing what we need to do. Then I'm going to spend a little time on 4 steps of financial planning. This is what I feel. But if you read any book, if you get any steps, please do, because you don't have any knowledge yet. So there are 4 steps according to me. First is financial education. Second is understand your financial situation or your money situation in your family. Next is risk mitigation and investment. I will cover this in detail in the subsequent slides. I am calling this step 0 because this is the basic what we have missed in our lives. No one has taught us about this, no one has spent time on this. I've talked enough of it. So what I did is, I did a lot of reading. I am expecting at least you will spend, after seeing this, at least you will spend some time on reading about finances. Because it's the most important thing. I see people coming into work, do very bad mistakes on managing their finances.
People buy cell phones when they have loans to repay. They buy 40,000, 50,000 was Apple phone. When they have a tuition loan to pay. I just cannot understand that. That goes back to instant gratification. Someone was speaking of instant gratification. I'm not able to understand when someone gets into a college, to a workplace, they need a bike. I don't understand that because it costs a lakh of rupees. When I ask them, why did you buy the bike? Do you have the tuition loan still there? Oh, that my father is paying, no worry. But don't you think you have an obligation to do that first, clear off that loan first? So there are certain basic stuffs which is missing because you're not thinking about money. You have never been taught about money and how do you manage that. So I think you need to be a little bit careful, but if you read something and if you understand something, about financial planning and about financial literacy is the key here. So what I did is I started reading some magazines, money magazines. So you can also do that. You need to attend some lectures related to finance, like what we're doing today, but mine may not cover a lot of things, but you should spend time, see videos. Because you have not spent time, and you need to spend time if you need to equip yourself. And do your own analysis and use tools. For your exams, you use calculators. For your exams, you use, for studying for your, whatever in engineering college, you use your laptops and your mobile devices to learn about it. But for this, you will not do anything, because someone else is doing something for that is what you feel. But you need to equip yourself, and you need to do it yourself about that activity. If you see the ad in between, we saw, right? If you jano to mano, right? Something like that was that. If you know only, you can understand. If you don't know, you cannot. So I don't remember the phrase there, but what I felt is that it is similar to what I'm trying to say here for that mutual fund ad. So this is about financial education, which I'm calling it step 0, which I think you guys should do. Next one is understand your money situation. This is very important. Before you do any spending, you should know what's your asset and liability. What I felt is when I met people is that they were not worried about their tuition loan.